Hello everybody, welcome back to FM24 with the European Journeyman Save, and this is the start of the next season. We've had the transfer window, we've got the squad ready to take on the Champions League. Let's dive into it and have a look. Yes, hello everybody, and we're starting the season off, fellow managers, with the Super Cup, which for some reason is held in Saudi Arabia at the King Fahd International Stadium. That is where we're taking our new formulated squad to take on Galatasaray. They won the cup, we won the league, so the Super Cup is being played out in Saudi Arabia, which is a little bit weird. But yeah, 40 degrees heat it's going to be played in, which is absolutely crazy, but very, very good. Now, I said we'd do the transfer window in the next episode. I recorded a whole hour-long transfer window episode, and the footage was really stuttery, really corrupted when I was trying to edit it. And so I went in, looked at my settings, and it was all my fault. I had set up my OBS to be 2 4K recordings, which is not what I normally do. I normally have one that's 4K for the game and then one that's like 1080p for my face and things like that to let you know. So I did record all of this, but instead we're going to give you a very quick overview of what's happened in the transfer window and then dive into the Super Cup as our opening game of this season. So it has been a pretty busy transfer window, more outs than ins, and some there was nothing we could do about, and some we've just moved on players we didn't need. And there's also one in transfer that doesn't really make sense unless you're in the transfer window episode, which I previously recorded, but we'll touch on that in a minute. First then, with the outs, let's go in. There's a lot of people in here that don't really matter, so let's just look at the ones that matter. Going in date order, the first person to leave the club was Damian Paradiso. We got £3.5 million from Celtic for him to move there and be their backup goalkeeper rather than being our backup goalkeeper. Yeah, he moved on. We got a good profit, basically £1 million profit for someone that only played for us 6 times and didn't do brilliantly either. He has started with a clean sheet in Celtic, so he looks to be on the up. But we say farewell to Damian Paradiso twofold, really. One, we don't really need him in our squad, and he took up a foreign player spot, so that did free up us to go and bring in another foreign player, which we'd already done because it was Grinelli from AC Milan. So we stayed one foreigner in, one foreigner out. That kept us at 11. Next up, 30-year-old Emre Ilkan. His contract expired, so he moved on a free transfer to Dinamo Zagreb. He actually got quite a bit of game time for us last year. 14 appearances in the league, 23 the year before that, a 7.12, so he wasn't necessarily a bad player. It's just that he wasn't giving us the options we needed in the squad. He was a bit more attacking. We needed to bolster the holding midfield spot, so we sort of, again, let him go, got his wage off the wage bill, and we've strengthened with better players to replace him. Yusliv Aslan moved to the other side of Glasgow and actually went on loan to Rangers, which was interesting, but we want him to get first team football, so he's gone out there to go and play for Rangers. Two appearances in there for Rangers so far. He's done pretty well. We've got man of the match in their league game, or League Cup game, which they started the season with. But yeah, we're hoping he gets some first team football and can go back to Trabzonspor a little bit more mature and developed potentially. But yeah, he's moved on to Rangers. And the big one, Mikhail Vitasek, our holding midfield wonder kid, has moved on. Newcastle paid his minimum fee release clause of £17.75 million. We tried to get him to sign a new contract. He was not interested, and now he's gone to Newcastle and is worth up to £90 million. They have got themselves a right bargain. We knew it was a bargain when we picked him up from Malmo for 9.5. We've made about £8 million profit in a season. He was superb. Nothing else we could do about it. They paid his release fee, so we've had to go out and buy a new holding midfielder, which we have done and we'll touch on in a minute. But again, this was a foreigner out, so it did free up a foreigner spot to allow us to bring someone in. And finally, the last out so far, because the transfer window isn't closed, is Ere Doxanoglu. He's gone on loan to Montpellier in France. Again, a youngster. Well, he's 25 now. He's not really a youngster, but he's going to go and get some first-team football out there, prove to us what he can do, and hopefully generate some interest in him. 4 appearances out on loan in Belgium last year. Only 2 appearances for us while he was at the club. So, yeah, never really never really given a chance. He probably could score quite a few goals for us, given he's got good finishing, good dribbling, composure, off the ball, pace and acceleration are all pretty good, but we have let him go. That is all the main outs. There's lots of youngsters that have gone as well that you don't care about, I don't care about, and most of them are on a free. But that's the outs. Let's look at the ins. So the first of 4 ins this season. Not a huge amount coming in, but the first was Alessandro Granelli, who we've touched on previously. Free transfer on a Bosman from AC Milan. Joins, worth up to £10 million, £28,000 a week. Very excited to get him in. Happy to be a squad player as well. Didn't really get a chance at AC Milan at all. Did focus or feature a little bit for Zagreb in Croatia. Has had a very good pre-season, which we'll touch on in a minute. But overall, excited to see what he can do, and he is in. Next up, this is the more questionable one. The left-back from DC United on a free transfer, Dylan De Souza. Now, I know he's not very good, and I know he's 24, but we really struggled to find a left-back that would agree to be basically a backup, and Dylan agreed. So he's in by de facto of wanting to not play first team football. Everybody else we tried to buy to be a backup to Mustafa at left back was like, no, I want to be a first choice. I want to be a star player. I want to be an important first team player. So we made a tactical choice to go with the best available player that wanted to be a backup, and that is Dylan De Souza. He joins. He's a foreigner that's in the club. I think we'll make profit on him even if it doesn't work out. He's worth up to 1.6 million. We got him on a free. He's got a little bit of pace. He's okay. He's okay, isn't he? And I think it's fun to have different nationalities in your team. So we've got an American. There you go. With Paradiso leaving, we had to bring in another goalkeeper. So we brought in a Turkish Göktuğ Sakiroglu. Göktuğ Sakiroglu. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't play too much. He's in as a backup. Looks pretty good. Perfectionist as well. Only £65,000 signed from Kasım Pasa, which is really good. Good aerial reach. He's 6'1". Good balance. Good jumping reach. He's aggressive. He's going to come off his line. No eccentricity on him at all. Very happy. Reflexes are crap. So hopefully we don't see him feature too much, but he is basically our third choice goalkeeper, and he's in. And then the big transfer of the summer, £10 million for Taylan Arslan. Our scouts found this guy when we asked them to go out and find for Turkish holding midfielders, and that is exactly what they bought back. Signed from Brøndby over in Denmark, the Turkish-Danish holding midfielder has 36 caps for Turkey, scored 2 goals for them, but I'm very excited. He is going to be filling the Vitasek hole after the holding midfielder moved to Newcastle, but great passing, tackling, first touch, technique, composure, anticipation, teamwork, balance, jumping, reach and fitness, and he's 6'2". He's going to be quite the beast in central midfield. He joins us for £10 million. Only ever played in Denmark, so we'll be interesting to see how he adapts to Turkey. But yeah, had a good season last year with a 6.92. I'm hoping that he can do just as good for us this year. If not better, I'd expect him to be a sort of 7 average rating player because he looks very, very good. Back into his native Turkey, and it's going to be quite a good... I just imagine it's going to be a good signing. £10 million for us wasn't a lot of money, and it's worked out quite well. It was about 5 million up front, 5 million over plenty of years, so not too bad at all. But there you go. So £10 million spent, £21.5 million of players bought in. It has been very, very good, to be honest. And it leaves the squad very balanced, very good. I'm very happy with how it sits, and this is what it looks like. So if we sort by who is playing where, 3 goalkeepers in Rob McGowan and then 2 Turkish backups. Happy with how that looks. In terms of fullbacks, we now have Sinar Yildiz to be pretty much our backup right back. That's his job now. We don't have to rotate in between right and left back. Kadir 7, we're trying to sell Kopoglu, the 22-year-old who's never going to really make it at this level. Guy Michaud and Arsene, who did have a bid that we accepted, but he refused to move to Trabzonspor in Turkey, so he's still here. Luis de Thomas as well, and then the youngster Yumlo are our centre-back options. And then at left back, we've got Mustafa and Dylan De Souza. Mustafa still looking very, very good, performed incredibly well. Didn't want to replace him after he got a 7.24 last year, which is just a wonderful performance from him. In midfield, we still have Berkay Ari here as well. Tallin Arslan is still hanging around, and we've called up Emlyn Kaplan from the youth team. Not the best, but I think can grow into the role. Won't get too much first team football this year anyway. In terms of the other right back, it's Gökay Özdemir, who is on a eye-watering £115,000 a week. I found that out as we were doing a squad review in the last video that didn't really work. But a really good performance, but yeah, stupid amounts of money. It was a contract that was offered before I even joined the club. So, yeah, he's in. He's now vice-captain of the club as well. So other players that we've got knocking around, Rousseau obviously on left wing. We've got lots of wing options really. Nuri can play in behind the striker or on the wings. We've got Arslan that's going to be more of a holding midfielder option as a youngster if we need it as well. Pileri still here. Dogan Latif has been called up from the under-19s as well. A good bit of potential there, some ability. So we'll see how much... how many substitute appearances he gets, basically. Granelli and Felix Baker are going to be fighting it out in the attacking midfield role. And then we've got all the other players sort of fighting for wing and striker position. Oktay Sulakan is the other youngster that has been called up. 19 years old, looks very, very good. He was in the under-19, so as he reached 19 years old, he's matured enough now to be in the senior squad. And we'll probably be getting quite a handful of substitute appearances as well. Excited to see what he can do. And then of course we have Gökmen Boyukagol, who was around the first team last year, developed quite a bit over the summer, and another option for us on the wing. So the squad is quite well balanced, maybe a little bit top heavy, but I am happy with how it's looking at the moment. Pre-season was incredible, and we literally went on a tour of England. We played Tottenham, Ipswich, Luton and Portsmouth, winning winning 3 of them and drawing against Tottenham in the first game. We went to France and played AC Ajaccio, beat them 3-0, beat Adana Demirspor 1-0, lost to Barcelona at home 2-1, but that's probably, you know, quite realistic. Beat Arsin IY, whoever they are, 9-0. Went back to the UK to play Preston and beat them 1-0. Beat Al Hilal at home 3-1. Beat Kelkit Guku 6-0. And we went away to Italy and have just beaten Bologna 5-0 with all the new signings looking pretty impressive as well. Thailand Arsan has picked up a few goals in pre-season, which is good. But today is the Super Cup, and that is what we're playing today to take on Galatasaray in this one. I've probably got a few changes to make to the squad, so I'll pick what I think is our best starting 11, and we're going to be taking that into the game to try and win the Super Cup. We want to get our second trophy of our time in Trabzonspor, and of course we're in the Champions League as well, so a big squad is never a bad thing in that regard. So this is what I think is our strongest 11 to start the season. McGowan in goal, Gokai, Michaud, De Thomas and Mustafa at the back, Burkai and Taylan in the middle, Pileri starts on the right, Baker in behind Koopman and Rousseau on the left. Giving us on the bench, Aydin, who sort of wants to leave, but our other goalkeeper that we just brought in has a slight injury, so I'd rather have the fit goalkeeper on the bench. Kadir 7, who is still here and has the number 11, so it's 7-11. That was a very good recommendation in the comment section, and it does go to prove that I do respond and read all of them. So 7-11 is in the team. And Arsen, Yildiz, De Souza, Granelli, Boyukok, Almassan, Sirac and Boyukagol on the bench as well. So not really too much of a change from the ending of last season, just Taylan in to replace Vitasek in there. So the players should really know how the system works. They should all be happy working with each other in the system. It's just a case of getting the best out of them if we can. So into the dressing room we go. I want to come back with the trophy. That's what we're going to tell them. It's Galatasaray. We've had a bit of a rivalry with them for the whole time. 40-degree heat is just absolutely ridiculous. But here we go then to take on Galatasaray. They're also lining up in a 4-2-3-1. Looks like they've either rested a lot of players or changed their squad quite a lot, because there's no Kudus. There's no. Let's have a quick flick at Galatasaray here. Oh, I need to do it through this, don't I? Let's have a quick look at Galatasaray transfer history. No ins over the summer. £90 million of players sold. They've sold Xabi to Lille. They've sold Erdogan to Atletico Madrid. Oh, wow. He's going to be a huge loss for them. He must have scored loads of goals. They only got 8 goals last year. Wow. Okay. But Mateus Cunha has joined ATM as well. That's going to be a big loss. Where is Kudus? Did they release Kudus? No, it doesn't look like it. Is he just not being played this year? Is he just not? That is a small squad. Oh, my word. They might struggle. That is a tiny squad. They have held on to Liam Cools, though, who's injured. He is still wanted by Newcastle. They've got a few people out as well. But that is a tiny squad. Absolutely tiny. This Liam Cools guy is really good, by the way. Yeah, I'm glad he's injured. Okay, looking at their squad and how that's going, I'm expecting us to win this game relatively comfortably, to be honest, because they are absolutely depleted of players. That is terrible squad management from the Galatasaray board and management, so I'm hoping that we can take advantage of them being slightly lackadaisical in the transfer market. Mustafa with a throw-in on the left-hand side. Up it goes to Baker. Good touch. And it goes to Sveni Koopman. Sveni Koopman shoots over the bar. Emre maybe had that one covered, but half an hour gone, we get our first meaningful highlight of the game. But yeah, that's... I mean, Aladdin is very good at left-back. He was someone I wanted to bring in, but when I asked his agent, he was like, absolutely no chance is Aladdin going to move to Trabzonspor. So we didn't pursue that. We actually looked at bringing in Stanescu as well from Malmo, but he just wanted to be a star player and wanted like £45,000 a week, which is... Oh, Pileri's got a goal. Lovely stuff. Which I was interested to do, but then it was like, I can't drop Mustafa from left-back after we've paid £10 million for him from Millwall, and he had such a good season last year. So, so we turned down the chance to bring Stanescu with us from our previous club to this one. Emre beaten. May feel like he should have saved that a little bit better. But 1-0 up in the Super Cup in the searing heat of Saudi Arabia. 40 degrees is just ridiculous. Right, you're doing well. Keep working hard. We are on top of this game. Interestingly, in all the pre-season stuff, Matteo Pileri is the guy that the bookies have favoured to be the top goal scorer for the season, not Svene Koopman, who is our actual out-and-out striker, which I find very interesting. Guy Michaud into Taylor. Here is Burke. Up it goes to Baker, but he's tackled. Cleared away. Burke picks it up again. Rousseau, he's also tackled, and Galatasaray look to break. That's a good ball through. Manuso could be in. We've got cover there, and his shot is pretty tame. McGowan with an easy save. But yeah, I'm happy with how we've been performing in pre-season and how the players we actually had quite a lot of rotation in pre-season as well, which has helped us out a great deal. But I think we'll get some substitutes on pretty soon, just to make sure we keep it fresh. Don't want any silly injuries. The one thing I'm very happy about in pre-season is that we picked up 0 injuries at all. It was very, very good. Right, I think we're going to do Koopman. We're going to put Pileri up front. Koopman can come off, not really getting into this game. We'll bring Al Massan on to the right-hand side. Tilan Arslan on his debut, not had the best of games. We could bring on Granelli there, but no, Taylor Arslan's going to have to stay on because I forgot to put a holding midfielder on the bench, which is a little bit irritating. Ozdemir off for Yildiz, and let's do Mustafa off, and we'll bring on Dylan D'Souza, the American, who we probably shouldn't have signed, but, you know, we'll give him a chance and see how it goes. But, yes, note to self, have a holding midfielder on the bench to replace one of them if they're playing crap or they get tired or something like this. Here is Porras on the ball. In it goes to Manosa. They work this well. Metihan into Kadir Ari. Out to Porras. Back to Ari. Good ball in, and it's bouncing around. Great save from McGowan. Our substitute seems to have just disrupted our rhythm a little bit. But Aliadin with the corner. The left-footed left-back swings it in. Good header from the new signing Taylan in there to get it away. Part of me is just sort of like, hey, let's just... we're just going to go to cautious for a little bit and maybe try and hit them a bit more on the counter-attack. But Galatasaray with Manasso with the corner, but we're not going to see that one. Taylan growing into the game a little bit more on the defensive side of our two holding midfielders. Emre with a long ball forward. Flicked on, and our Lizgard is in. The striker shoots. McGowan with a really good save again. And yeah, obviously some of the changes we've made have very much disrupted our system. Aliadin puts it in. I mean, I'm not going to blame the American at left-back D'Souza, but it probably is the fact that we've brought on D'Souza in that role. He's on a 6.6 at the moment. I think we need fresh legs. We need to change something in the midfield. Even if we haven't got an out-and-out swap in there. I think we're going to do Arslan for Inarsson. No more than 8 foreign players. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're going to bring on Kadir 7 for Taylor Arslan, and then we're going to put Michaud in here because I just think he's a bit more versatile and can get that done. Rousseau is tired as well, so we're going to do Bokyugol on for him and Granelli on for Baker, or is that all my subs? That's all my subs. Baker's on a 6.9. Rousseau was actually playing really well. I don't want to discard all of them. I just want to cancel the Rousseau one. So we'll do Baker for Granelli. He can get his first experience of Turkish competitive football. But yeah, so interestingly, Kadir 711 is on. And I feel like I've got to change his name to 7-Eleven. De Souza with a throw-in. Great work from the American. Perfect throw-in. Finds Pileri as well. Back to De Souza. In it goes. He's given the ball away. Our American's given the ball away. Good clearance there from De Thomas. Al Massan goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. It's quite good football, actually. Burkay brings it forward. Rousseau. Into Granelli. No, we weren't pushing forward enough there for the overlap. De Souza with a foul. Surely. Referee says play on. He's like, you're an all-American all-star. Don't worry about giving away fouls. Kadir Ari ball through, and they have got an equaliser. Late in the game, 10 minutes to go. You sort of felt like it was coming. It did feel like it was coming. And we have mixed up our team a little bit. But 1-1, 8.5 minutes to go, 9 minutes to go. Porras came into Yugathan. You could just see the 1-2. We didn't track it. Yeah, Sinar on the right. We've brought him on as a substitute. Maybe not up to the pace of the game. But, yeah, it's a little bit irritating that we've conceded that goal. Let's demand more from them. I mean, this is a kickoff highlight as well. De Souza back to De Thomas. De Thomas goes out to 7-Eleven. Up to Burkay. Burkay ball through to Granelli. Here is Al Massan. He's been robbed. Caught on the ball. Al Massan comes forward. In it goes to Yugathan. Yugathan gets to his left-hand side. Shoots. They've made it 2-1 in a matter of minutes. And that is very, very irritating. Oh, man. Talk about subs ruining the game. Right, well, we need to go on the attack now, don't we? With 4 minutes to go, this has been an absolute disaster of an ending. 82 and 83rd minute is when they've scored. Granelli with the free kick. What can he do from this? A tight angle. He's hit the side netting. Not the greatest of efforts, to be honest. 4 minutes of time added on. I mean, they have... I would suggest that's probably the 60th minute mark. You might not be able to see that behind my head. But their XG. Galatasaray win the Super Cup. Oh, boys. That was absolutely dreadful. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed to miss out on a trophy. That was absolutely dreadful. The fact that we lost that after leading... I'll show you what I was trying to talk about when it was behind my head. We have got 2.16 million for losing, which isn't a bad thing. Oh, and we've got a new assistant manager. That was all covered in the transfer window. We don't have to really worry about that. But, yeah, if we look at 2-1 defeat in here, can we see analytical data? Is that going to show me what I want? Yeah, the XG graph up here. I'm going to suggest this is the 60th minute mark where we made our changes and brought on all of our different players. I mean, the difficulty is, right, is that we did bring on quite a few new signings. So it is what it is. We don't get our second trophy of the time or for Trabzonspor, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay as we head into the league season. We've got a really good squad. It is really well balanced. They turned that around, and the same player scored 2 goals for them, to be fair. And let's check him out. Let's check out Vidgan Turhan, 82 and 83rd minute. I mean, he's not great. He's not brilliant, but he scored 2 goals for them, so can't complain. Well done, Galatasaray. Right, we'll be back in the season at some point. We actually take on Galatasaray quite early on, but we'll probably come back maybe for the game against Besiktas at the end of November. That should give us a good bit of time to get through, because we've already won the league in Turkey, so we already know that is a thing. Looking at job security and see what's out there and what's available. FC Nantes in Ligue 1 is actually available to be manager. Porto is available as well. Oh, I've just spent time picking this up, but Porto would be a very good one. Porto would be really good. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. What do we do about next management job? Do we still be active and go out there and apply for things like Porto or Nantes and see how it goes? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.